Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Eclat project, and I've got exactly 2 weeks, well actually a little bit less, to get this thing to proper daily driver spec, and that means sorting all of the interior out, tidying the paintwork up and doing a few more mechanical bits and bobs, and well, it's constant problems straight away.
I've whipped this arm off the rear, which was a horrible job. I've got the new one here. Let's put them down side to side. See if you can spot anything. Yep, that's the left arm. And we wanted the right one. So we're off to a great start already. So now the Lotus is a bit of a paperweight on the ramp, unfortunately.
The car has dropped some oil from around the gearbox area, but it has also dropped an absolute Red Sea of power steering fluid, which is also not good. And it means I think we have to pull that end of the steering rack apart. My stop leak has made things worse, if anything. And over here, the dog seems to have leaked a bit of coolant as well. So we have to sort that out. Matty's taken all the bolts out for these seats, but they are not coming out. And putting a pry bar underneath them is difficult because the car's fiberglass and it'll just crunch it all up. So I thought I would get in and sort of like move around a bit and see if I can knock the car off the ramp. Why isn't it? It's complete. All the bolts definitely out, are they?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Can you do that thing where you like flip the hammer and catch it?
I think so.
Nice.
Professional.
Very professional. Yeah, that's now. Let's lift the ramp up and do it from underneath. The only metal bit of this car we can lever against to get these out is not very strong. Nice, that one's worked. As I said in the previous video, if this car was made out of metal, there'd be nothing left of it at all. It's 34 degrees today as well, by the way. Yes! Bloody hell! Oh, now we're talking, look at that. What a horrible thing. Get that in the nearest river. Yikes. And here we go. Yeah, power steering installing. There's a drill bit there. Keep that. But yeah, look at all this old carpet here. Nasty stuff. We're going to scrape all this out. Get rid of it all. Oh, horrible. Why are seats so hard to get out of cars? 34 degrees. Matty's managed to get one bolt out, fair play to him, of the 2 that are stuck, and I'm going to go underneath with this now and he's going to wedge a screwdriver into that one so we can take the nut off. This reminds me of the chandelier moment from Only Fools and Horses. The gearbox is going to fall out now, isn't it? Ready?
Yeah.
Come on, wedge harder. Oh yeah, nearly. Okay. Oh my god, it's there? Right, I can see it there now. Okay. Done. And the seat is out of the rail. Oh, thank God for that. It's hot in here today. Lovely. not actually that bad, Nick, that seat, is it? It's
No.
it's just that it looks disgusting. I don't like the way it's all, yeah, just a bit crappy. That's out. It's got a big earth attached to it or something. Oh no, that's for the lights on the dash, but we're deleting that anyway, so that doesn't need to go back on. You could cut all that out. Yeah, all this has got to go. This dash has now got to come out, but not just be pulled out. I've got to get the whole thing out of the car because I need to take it over to the bench and make a new one, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that because it's something different. I've got with me a big roll of masking tape and a pen, and that is to write down which wire goes to where. So when I plumb it all back together, I know. Delicious, look at all this. Yikes. 10 minutes or so later, and that now looks like that, and I've got everything there. High beam, fuel, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, rev counter, loads of cool stuff. So that can all just sort of live in there. And what we'll do is when we made the new one of these, we'll redo all of these connections, all of these spade connectors, everything on this original wiring loom, because that's where there is a point of failure at the moment, is that all of the wiring is just a bit crusty and old. And at the same time, we'll redo all of these earths as well, so we've got nice new earths going in the car. But before we do all of that, we're gonna have to make a brand new one of these centre consoles, and also take the dashboard out, paint all these bits, retrim it all. Loads to do, man, Jesus. Right, let's get this over to the bench and have a bit of a play with it. The plan with this is that we're going to take all of this stuff off it. This is all one piece, this bit of fiberglass that is moulded and folded along here. This is going to get trimmed in black, and then this is either going to be aluminium, which we'll brush to take the glare off it, or this aluminium composite, which is just black, but that could also be quite reflective. Originally, this bit of plastic would have gone over there like that, covering all of your screw holes and all that sort of stuff, but we don't really need to worry about that. All I really need is 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to make sure that the new panel that is going to sit on top of that has these fixing points here, and then everything else I can either cut this bit out and just plant the new thing on top, which I'm hoping is going to look something like that, but we don't need it to be, you know, exactly like that. We're just gonna, I'm working it out as we go. The rev counter also doesn't work, and it's an automatic. I don't need one. And there's this weird thing you do if you drive an old classic car quite hard, you'll know, is that when you're going 80 mile an hour along the motorway in a classic car, the temptation is to look at the rev counter and go, should I really be doing 4,500 RPM in this thing? And if you remove that, you will enjoy your life more, I think. So maybe I might just not have a rev counter. But what I do know is to see through the steering wheel, speedo needs to be somewhere around there. Everything else is fairly free. It's the sunniest day in the world ever, and we've bought both. Fucking hell, yeah, this is rough, isn't it?
I told you.
We bought both of the materials that I've got to use. We've either got this aluminium or this aluminium composite that's got this black plastic over it. So sun glare, oh my god, that is pretty bad. That is burning my eyes.
How's that?
What about you? It's,
Glare off that?
it's substantially better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you peel the plastic down a bit? I mean, oh my god, yeah, the aluminium is much, much worse. Right, I'm using that then. Oh well, there we go. I can use this for other things. Before I start laying everything out, I've got to remove these Smith's gauges, and you do it by simply rotating these. See that there? You just simply rotate it. That's all you do. And destroy your thumbs in the process because it's so badly corroded. Actually, that one's not doing too badly, is it? And it sort of pins itself in with that there. It's all very clever. But yeah, if they've been sat for a while, they can get a bit tough. Oh, Jesus, some of the... How long do you think this is taking? It's 36, my eyeballs are sweating. How quick? Double it, triple it, quadruple it. Might just be the heat though. If you think I'm being cheap by reusing these gauges and just not going out and buying new ones, it's probably worth mentioning that I'm into 5 figures with this car now. Could have bought a basket case, a spray or something for that, couldn't I? But I mean, it is what it is. Classic cars, they're, you know, funny old investments, aren't they? My accountant doesn't quite understand what I'm doing. Neither do I. There you have it. All of the things removed. How does it sit in the car? Like that? No, like that. So all very, very nice. I've just got to decide what I want on there now, but all I've got to do is make sure these 4 screw holes are in the right place and it'll fix on nicely. So maybe I start by cutting the right sized bit of thing out. That's the old one, and this is going to be the nice new one. Looks very smart. Just going to tidy these edges up a bit with a little bit of sandpaper, and it'll all be tucked up in there like that. It's awesome, that, isn't it? Really cool. Sexy, everything about this is so sexy. I just want to see it in the car. Look at that. Oh my, dead nice. On the original design, this one here, you've got stuff like indicators in this corner here. Now I've got these things. I don't know if you can see that there, but that is a right hand indicator, and if you turn it upside down it's a left hand indicator. So my plan is to essentially just bang these equidistantly in the corners like that, and then I've also got one for high beam and one for the battery lights, which I'm thinking I'll put in, I don't know, maybe in the middle 2 there, just for a laugh, just put them in like that. So that's one hole drilled there, and look at how sexy that's going to look. You can barely even tell it's there. Oh yes, so nice. Still got to tidy a little bit of swarf up there, but yeah, that is so good. Gone up the business. Right, I just got to do the rest of them now. Awesome. Indicator holes. Oh, that's a satisfying click, wasn't it? So that, it's going to look super stealth. All black and brown interior. Can't even see that. Can you get a shot on that? Look at it. It's so nice. Still working out exactly what I want to do with this. It's not quite the best. I'm thinking at the moment, as a temporary measure, I'm just going to put a smaller hole in that to fit that through, and I'm just going to sort of semi-stick it on and run the cable out the side there. It's not going to look the best, but I don't know if I want to keep this or not. I might want to change it for something better in the future, and I need to get access to these buttons. So for the moment, it'll just sort of get plonked on there, which will be fine. I've turned my attention now to these gauges, and they are, you know, the faces are quite good and they do work, but these rims are pretty crappy. And to get the rims off, you just prise back the little tabs and just make sure you sort of tap them in nicely afterwards, and then give it a little paint and a bit of a rub down and give the glass a good polish, and then fit it all back together. So I'm just going to do this one now, and then we'll compare it to one of these other ones. Bit of brake cleaner, and just give the bit that you've just spent ages sanding on the wire wheel, takes 2 seconds. Give it a nice little clean up, and then your paint will stick. I'm using this Buzzweld, and it's black primer, and it's super good stuff. So good, in fact. It's like a matte black, and I did have the idea of just leaving it matte black because they do look great, but The satin black that I'm painting it here afterwards does look really good as well. This one here is just in the process of drying, so it's still a bit shiny, but it's going to look pretty good. As you can see here, we've brought all of these lovely interior items out into this gorgeous sunshine because I'm tasking Matty with a little bit of a dirty job. All of this needs to be stripped of its coverings. So as you can see here, it's all just got bits of cloth and old remnants of cloth that if I try to stick a bit of cloth over this, it's not going to stick to anything. It's just going to fall to bits over and over again. This one snapped as well, so I need to put a bit of tape on that, try and hold it together. But these bits here make up the roof lining, the head lining, so we need those. The door cards as well, again, just pure sadness. But thankfully these bits do separate, so we can trim all that quite easily. It's a very, very easy little bit of panel to trim, just with a bit of black four-way stretch. Oh, look, a bumblebee. But we've got to get all the surfaces back to as close to that as we can, so I can put this black four-way stretch over everything and stick it down, which I'm going to go and get from Martrim now. This bit of the car, it's not bad, and that bit isn't bad either, but I mean, it's a bit sun damaged, this, so we're going to trim this as well. But the reason we're trimming that mainly is because this bit at the back, which is awful and we want to change, that's actually sewn together on there, and I just don't have the skills for that, to sew things together with piping and stuff. So that is all that's going to be changed into one colour, which will just make it super easier. How are you feeling about this?
So looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, at least
dream job.
yeah, I mean, it's not 34 today, it's only about 26, so hopefully it should be all right.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Stanley knife with a fresh blade, scraper, scissors, pick and a wire brush. This is the most important tool, and the idea is that hopefully you can pull a lot of this stuff off just with your fingers and then put it in the bucket. And then afterwards, you're going to die of heat exhaustion out here, mate. You can do this inside if you want, but it might get a bit dusty. So
Nice to catch some rays.
And apologies, mate, but I need you to do it to all of this stuff.
Can't complain.
Yeah,
Nice being in the sun.
It is. Could be worse, couldn't it? Definitely. Could be inside the car doing it like I was doing in the headline in the last episode. Right, here's a quick little before and after on what I've just finished. So do you remember this from yesterday? Pretty rough, pretty sad. Look at this one now. That is a brand new Smith style. Really nice, that, isn't it? Proper job. Gorgeous thing. And yeah, I've tidied up all the outside as best as I can be bothered. Given all these threads a good clean up, any contact to clean up as well, and that is ready to go into the dash. But if you're wondering how I put all this stuff together, I'm going to give you a little demonstration now, and it might seem like, how are you going to put it all back together without scratching everything? It's not even possible. I don't want to clean these up any more than they are, these black faces, and I'll show you why. I tried to clean the fuel gauge up, and this white sort of paint on the Smiths thing it just rubs off. So just, yeah, don't put anything on them and just try and give them a bit of a wipe off with a cloth or something. Just make sure, give the glass one last clean up, make sure it's all nice, just drops in, and the cover or the surround goes on top. Sits like so. Might even spin it. Can you spin it around? There we go. So just because that one was already pressed down, and then there's two tabs. There's one there and there's one there, and all I do is get this little thing here, and it's as simple as just pushing it over the edge, and then that is held in place and it's done. And that is your brand new temperature gauge. Doesn't take much at all, and they're properly restored and looking really nice. And again, all these contacts that I'm going to put new connectors and stuff on, I've cleaned all those up as well. Right, let's do it to the rest of them and put them in the dash. I've put this hole in here. This is for the GPS. And I've marked out exactly where I want these gauges to go. To find the centre of those circles, I've drawn a square around it and joined up the corners. And then that is the middle of your circle. And then now we transfer it to this thing, which has a 51mm hole cutter. The gauge is a 52mm. I'm hoping this is going to work okay. It's wobbling violently on there, isn't it? Can you see that? That's not going to drill us a straight hole at all. Interesting. Is that that's on the piss, I wonder? It is. The drill press is old and slightly on the piss, wobbles a bit, and you don't want it to move around when you're trying to cut a hole. What about the hand drill? Will that give us any more success? That's actually quite nice. What does it look like? The gauge in it. Will it fit? Oh, it might fit. Oh, it's going to be super tight. Oh, look at that. Tidy. Now I have to repeat that 3 more times. I feel like the fuel gauge lets it down a bit, but the rest of them are really nice. The fuel gauge on this car doesn't work anyway, so I don't know if it's the gauge. It's probably definitely the sender, so that's something that might be replaced in the future, but at least we've got a home for it. And all of these, I mean, they're superb, and they do work, as you can see here. Just wired them up to a little power bank. Not really done much like that before, of like making a panel from scratch, but I just think that's great. You know, just to get this car as a you know, mixture of old and new and saving a bit of money, and just, I think it's great. I'm really pleased with it, honestly. I need to get this dashboard out though. That's next on the list. Get the dashboard out the way, and then I can start working on it. That was hot and difficult, and didn't enjoy it at all, in fact. And we've got a couple of problems. It's not an easy job, this car. Like, everything's just been glued to everything else, and nothing is a piece. They're just using the fiberglass construction of the car to build things onto. And then, like, for example, a lot of the screws have been put in without the windscreen in, obviously, so you can't get a lot of things to them. And there's these metal grills that go across there that you saw me fighting with them, and the screws are just rusted solid. I'll show you the grills in a minute. And all of this is just covered and attached to the car. It's all, you know, glued in situ. Everything's been trimmed in situ, and it's just really difficult to do anything with. I'm not sure. I mean, can potentially tuck something down there, but I'm really not sure how I'm going to tackle that. I'm going to have to think of something. And these as well, I don't know if I might have to measure those and see if they've got any new ones on Car Builder. But there's nothing under here. Under here is just purely body of the car. There's nothing up there to you know, the screws go in from above, not from below. It's just real faff. Yeah, this all in a way controls all of the headlights and stuff, but we're just going to get rid of all of that. It's too old, unreliable, brittle. It's all going to break and snap. It's all crap. So I've got a lot of work to do in there, just tidying wires up, getting rid of stuff and rewiring things, but at least I can get to it now. And then I've got to worry about trimming that. But this is the dashboard. There's a couple of pieces, which, I mean, that one's not too bad, but it's going to be a different colour to everything else if we don't retrim it. Obviously there's this there, which again, it's got to be all retrimmed. A lot of funny shapes. I'm hoping a 4-way stretch is going to work on this, but I'm just not sure. I've never done it before. All of these, everything at the back, oh yeah, all just rusted solid. Nothing was coming out. I couldn't get, you see how everything's corroded? I just couldn't get anything to loosen or to move, so I thought it'd be easier to just do it from behind. But yeah, see all this here? This, the way it's just trimmed is just, it's been stuck down onto there. That's exactly what I'm going to do, but with nice new cloth, once Matty's sanded it all down anyway. These are the metal bits, those vents. Absolute, I don't know, you know, if it's coming across on camera how bad that is, but wowee, it's just bottom of the sea floor stuff, isn't it? So I'm going to have a quick look on Car Builder now and see if there's anything else that would be the same size and I could just sort of shove in, and that we could wire the new rally heater that I'm going to get up to, so the air comes out of both those, because all I want is it to be able to clear the windscreen. That's all I want. Clear the windscreen in the winter, I'll be happy. So what you're seeing here is a couple of days solid work. Fair play to Matty, he just got stuck in and got everything taken off that car. There was a lot of it, as you can see on this bit here, that you couldn't just sort of get a little wire brush and take a lot of it off, because it kept coming. So it would just be, you'd take some of it off with the wire brush, and every time you wiped your hand over it, you'd get a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. The glue was awful, the old glue, just so bad. So the only thing we could do was to just take it all completely off and go back to the plastic, which just meant a monumental effort from Matty just getting all of that stuff taken off. And after my 3-hour round trip down to Martrim to get the cloth that I needed, I just, without sort of recording a lot of it, I wanted to have a go and just make sure that I was doing the right thing and just have a bit of a practice on some of the more easier parts of the dash. And you can see on this bit here that I'd left a lot of the foam on the dash, because, not on the dash, sorry, on the interior. I'd left a lot of the foam on because it's just, it was nice and plush and it's in such good condition and it wasn't flaking off, so we thought, you know what, let's just use it. And the cloth that I went for has got 3mm of foam on the back as well, so it should make it super luxurious inside, which would be nice, wouldn't it? And just adds a little bit of sound deadening and stuff as well. But here I am, just getting to grips with how to sort of do everything, and I had my mate Ben, who is a Bentley trained trimmer, just on the messages, just giving me tips and hints and telling me how I should do stuff, and I'll show you in a bit more depth coming up. But yeah, it's just giving it a go. That's the easiest way to do anything like this, is to just give it a go. You're not going to learn from reading a book or really from watching me doing it on here. You get the basics, but get the piece in your hand, get your glue, get your cloth, and just give it a go. It's all turned out super nice, as you'll see coming up, and I am quite pleased with it. You see this car here and this car here. and this car here. I put these up for sale in a video a little while ago for what I thought was a reasonable price, but nobody wanted them. Maybe the audience is too small, or maybe they are too much money. So, to counteract one of those things at least, oh hello Sonny, I have decided that I am going to reduce these 3 cars in price £10 per day until they sell. And to increase the audience, they are also on eBay. So check them out on there. But if you want a project car, that one runs and drives, that one runs and drives, and the Metro runs and drives, come and take them off my hands, because there's a lot of other cars that I also need to move on. And if you're interested in this Alfa Romeo here, well, this Alfa Romeo is up for raffle. So if you've only got £1 to spend, but you want a car, buy a raffle ticket for that one. And the Peugeot 205 GTI in there, and you could potentially win it and drive it away. Come down to Tasty Classics Workshop and drive it away. If you make a purchase of one of these cars or a raffle ticket, it all helps me to make these fun videos for you and to do this crazy stuff, so you can continue to sit on the couch while I do all the work. And Matty does a lot of the work as well. So there you go. There are other ways of helping the channel out if you would like to do so, and it all involves all this cool gear. We've got some epic stuff, and I'm very pleased to announce to you that some of the old designs that people were like, well, why did you stop doing that? I wanted to buy one, I didn't get a chance. We've bought a lot of them back. We've bought a lot of these things available again on the website for you to buy. Oh, and a new cap, completely new design. This is to sort of celebrate the Viking race car, because it's like a checkered flag. I think it's pretty cool. If you prefer to be naked, then we have other things that you can buy as well, such as bottles. And if you've ordered a mug from us recently, they're arriving with us this week, and they'll be shipped out to you next week, because we've just been delayed, but they are coming. So if you've ordered a mug and a couple of other bits and you're going, where the hell's my order? We're not Amazon Prime, you're not getting it next day. It might take a week or so to get your order, but a lot of the stuff we usually do have in stock. As you can see here, we have these in stock, and puzzles and pin badges and lots of other cool gear. So go onto the website, check it all out, and every purchase you make does help me make fun videos for you and allows me to spend weeks working on a car and not selling it at the end, so not getting anything back for it. Apart from a very enjoyable, fun car to drive. Anyway, back to the video. If you remember as well, the car was locked on the ramp because that bottom arm that we desperately needed to replace, because it was very badly corroded, we got the wrong one, so we finally got the right one, and Matty just got stuck into just getting it bolted back onto the car so we could make the car mobile again, and yeah, make access just so much more easier. There's so much other stuff that's gone into it, like all these small little parts that go around everything, and this is an old car and all the screws and hardware and everything is just rusted solid, and it's taking so many hours to just do something that on a modern car where the screw comes out would take you 2 seconds. For example, this glove box lid. This is something that I need to get the lid separate from this base plate here, right? And the base plate is like, I need to trim that, because if I don't, in the car, you're just going to end up with this bit here. And I could just push a bit of cloth in between there, but then when you open the glove box, you'll just be greeted by that, which is nicht cool. So, I don't know, I need to do something with it. In a normal car, you just undo a couple of posi screws, it's great, you're in there, you got the lid off. With this though, See, this rod here, right, this rod, you have to slide the rod out of the hinges, or slide the hinges out of the rod. And the problem with that is it's seized solid inside the hinges. It's just rusted solid inside the hinges, so I can't get the glove box lid off. So it's just one of those annoying things now. We've got to try and just like tap it out. Don't want to break anything, don't want to bend anything. Time consuming. Oh no. Look at this. Can you see this here? It's starting to come through this top one, and it hasn't come out the bottom one, and it's just bent it. Fuck! Where's a set of mold grips or something? I know, hang on. Move it round on the, we've covered it in plus gas and everything, but just can't for the life of us free it up. Let's go and do something else. I think thanks to this bend, this has actually just, the rod has unseized itself inside the hinge, so anyway, it's unseized itself inside the hinge, but we just need to get it out, and then potentially we could repurpose this rod. I wonder if that would even be possible. Yeah, there you go, it's moving. Whichever way you go, you have to take all the length of this rod through the thing. And I mean, it is cleaned up a little bit with all the plus gas and moving around, so it might not be too bad. But
looks like it's coming.
does it?
Mm.
This is working. Hammers fix everything. I won't tell you again. Get yourself a sledgehammer, you can be a mechanic. Right, so I've got to get this all the way through this one hinge. Oh. It's pretty cool. We can definitely repurpose that now. Oh, come on. Oh, he sliced my head open with that then, but satisfaction. This bit needs to be trimmed. This bit needs to be bent back into shape. And if we run this through the wire wheel, make it all nice and shiny, and then bend that back straight, we can put it all back together. It's the end of the first week now. As you saw, we've done so much, but everything is just taking that extra little bit of time. It's stuff you just don't expect. Like the cloth, for example, I got 2 meters by 1.4 meters, and I thought that's going to be more than enough. And I used it almost straight away. So I had to send Joe off to get another 3 by 1.4 meters of the Alcantara style, suede style 4-way stretch this morning from Martrim. But the problem is that that's miles away. It took me 3 hours to get there and back the first time. It took Joe 3 hours to get there and back today. It's just stuff like that you do not expect. And there's loads of little things. When I've been going through this car and going, right, you've got to think on your feet. And like, I've got loads more stuff from Car Builder Supplies there. I've got the new heater blower thing. I've got to make a whole new one. Come and look at this. This bit of the dash, This is a bit of foam that's been shoved in there, that's had a bit of trim around it, and then the rest of it has been glued directly to the fiberglass of the car. And it's the same with these A-pillar trims here. Really not ideal. That's going to make my life super difficult, because I'm not a vehicle trimmer. I'm going to show you how I do these bits, but I'm just learning as I go. Well, what am I supposed to do with that? I've got to get my head around this, man. That's going to be super difficult. And all of this stuff that you've got here, this big, you know, HVAC system. I don't know what HVAC stands for, but I think it's like heating, ventilation, and so, I don't know. Anyway, that I think is built into the bulkhead of the car. I've got to do some research on it. I've got to find out if that's removable, because I need to get rid of this whole thing. It doesn't work anymore. It's completely knackered. Everything's rusted solid, all of the mechanisms. See these here? All of it is like seized, rusted, solid. Nothing moves. It's all just dead. Everything is completely dead. It all needs replacing, which is why I've gone down this standalone heater route and some new vents and stuff to go up there. It is a lot to get your head around, especially when you've never done it before. But the place where I need to get to now is for all of the inside of this car to be cleaned and just, yeah, tidied up, and all the little bits that we're going to need, we need to find and just put these in the right place. And then we can start fitting this big brown carpet set and just build the car up from there. I think that's the only way to do it, and I'm going to think about this in the meantime. This thing here, this center console, is going to be built the same way that I built the dashboard, but I ordered some more Ali composite from Car Builder, and instead of sending me one piece, they've sent me 2 squares, and unfortunately that is bigger than 1 square, so I'm going to have to do a join in that somewhere. Little things like that. I went for this Ali composite because it's got such a nice foldability. You can just scribe a line in it and it just bends dead nice, and it would have been super easy to do that, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. We've got so much to get our heads around, one bit at a time. Another annoying thing, which is just, again, time consuming, is that the seat bases for the new seats are completely different to this here. So as you can see, it's sat on like these turrets that have been made, and the problem you've got is that the bolt holes, they need to be more like here. They're so far away from where I need them to be. So I've got to make brackets that come out and goes to the floor, and I mean, that's another job in itself, isn't it? There is quite a bit to do, and I was hoping to get, this is Friday now, I've got 1 more week to do this. I can't spend any more than 1 week on this car. Restoring cars is very, very difficult on YouTube. People get bored of watching videos on the same cars, and I've got to do something with this. I've got to get it done, but I want to get it done nicely. And this thing, I'm going to enjoy driving it round. It's got to be good. I'm going to show you now how to trim this door card. I've never done this before in my life. You've seen me do a couple of little bits, but that was just me practicing. I'm going to show you how I'm doing it now and all the steps of the process of how to do it. First of all, go to your local vehicle trimmers and buy some stuff. Buy, if you've never done it before, 4-way stretch, because it just stretches 4 different ways. It makes it just a lot easier to go around corners, because it does stretch and is a bit more forgiving. Basically what I'm saying is, it's easy. It's a little bit of a cheat code, really, really good. So get yourself some of that and get your door card and get your other bit, and then take it over to a nice clean bench and get it worked on. But before I do that, you might have noticed I'm wearing a t-shirt with the old Tasty Classics logo on, and so is Alice. And the reason for being for white is we've decided to revitalise a lot of the old clothing that we used to do. So all the old designs and a few of these things, we've got them all back in stock. Have a little look here on the website. You can get all of these things. They're just so, so, so smart. So the beauty of these bits is that they are just a very thin piece of wood, which is great. And this is the original stuff that was trimmed over them. This is like a little bit of underlay or whatever, and just, yeah, that was underneath the original bit of fabric. You cannot just trim straight onto this. You have to take it all off. And this is what you saw Matty doing before, just going through everything. Sanding down the dashboard and stuff is so important, because if you put glue and cloth on top of any stuff that's dusty or is loose, it's just going to come straight off again. It'll last 5 minutes. As soon as you get a windy day, someone pulls on it too hard, it's just going to come straight off. So it's really important to get rid of all of the old material. Just get it off there. And there we go. We have our piece of wood. It's perfect. What I want to do now is just clean the surface with a bit of brake cleaner so our glue sticks. Just putting the bit of wood on top of the cloth and cutting it out. And then what we'll do is we'll take it over to the bench and we'll glue it on. It's as simple as that. That is a bit oversized. I don't need to go this much over, but I've just left it like that, so when I spray it, it doesn't get glue all over the table. And you can always cut less or more. I think the saying is you can always cut more, but you can't cut less once you've already cut too much, something like that. Just come over to see how Matty's doing, seeing as I've now got the clean job. How are you getting on, mate?
It's fantastic, you know, it's really, really nice here. It's a lovely place to be.
You've been doing an amazing job of cleaning all these bits up. Always make sure that you're trimming the right side as well. Can quite easily fuck that up. Ask me how I know. This stuff is really good trim fix adhesive. I got this from the same place I got the cloth. I've used it on the headline in that old ZT. It's proper good stuff. And I'm just coating the surface that this side is going to go onto, so I need to spray this side as well. I'm just doing a second coat, just in a different direction. So the other one was like that, and now this one's like that. So it's like crisscrossing, if you like. But that should be enough. It's very, very warm at the moment, so it should dry very quickly. And you simply drop it on, making sure that you've got enough space to go around the edges, and then just push it down. And don't get the glue on the dog either. If you go and stroke him afterwards and you've got glue all over your hands, Sonny, I can't stroke you. I can't. I'll stroke you like this instead. Oh, he thinks there's something wrong with my hands. Now that's on there. Quick one of these. Just round the edges, and then I'm going to cut the bulk of this material away. And again, I have never been trained. This is just what I've learnt as sort of best practice as I've been doing the few little bits that I've done. So if you're a professional trimmer, I'm sorry, but I've not had the training you've had. To get round corners, you've got to sort of pull it really tight. And that way you will avoid anything bunching up on the other side, and it will be a really nice corner. And then as you're going around it, just make sure you just do a little bit at a time, but you pull on it really tight as you do it. Because if you don't pull on it tight, it won't have a nice flat straight edge. And just do a little bit at a time. Just don't go and do that bit and that bit and that bit. You've got to just nurse it along like so. Alice, your dog just tried to eat a load of glue. Well, I didn't let him, but I'm just telling you. This is a bit tedious when you've got a lot of it to do, and it does hurt your thumbs after a while, but It's just one of those things, you've just got to do it, it takes time. And then just push it down all the way around. Make sure you're getting good contact with all the glue. These raised bits here, if I try to put this panel back in the car, this is too high, it's going to stop the panel sitting nicely, so just remove them, simple as that. So that is going to sit a little bit like that when the door's all trimmed. It's going to be very smart. Now before I finish up with this, what I'm going to do quickly is just get my knife, and from this side I'm just going to cut this out. And I'm not going all the way to the edge. However, this does have a, God, could I find a blunter knife? This door handle does go over the edge, so if I wanted to, I could just cut this flush, but I don't think I'm quite brave enough to do that. I want to make sure there's no gaps, so I'm just gonna push this in for the moment, and then when I go to refit the door and all the fittings and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to take a knife with me and I'm going to just trim it sort of as I go, because again, I'm new to this and I don't want to mess it up. Now when you're doing these corners here, don't cut them all the way down. You've got to leave a little bit. If you don't leave a little bit, you'll see the cut on the inside and you'll be sad. So just a tiny little relief cut. And then hopefully there's enough sticky left on all of that. And just remember, these are all going to be covered anyway by the door handle, so that'll all get pushed down, but I'm just leaving it like that at the moment because that one's too big and I've cut that too soon. I haven't quite worked out how to do that bit yet, but I will let you know when I get there. But don't worry, it will be hidden by the door handle. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Ignore this bit here, again, remember, I'll sort that out. That's it, done, nice. And then you've got to do the entire door card next. Made my first fuck up on this and I can't stop now making fuck ups, but I've cut this. I should have cut it over here and I cut it down there, so when I've gone to stick it onto this indent, you can see part of that. What a horrendous thing to have happened. But we'll just ignore it for now and we'll keep doing what we're doing, and then we will revisit it later on and we'll see how bad it actually is. Because the annoying thing about doing this as well is you kind of only get one shot, or you're pulling the whole thing to pieces again and you're sanding all the glue off and it's unforgiving. In an ideal world, if I'd have thought ahead, and I'll remember for next time, you just pick it up as you go, I would have done this in a brown that sort of matches the carpets in the car. But we're here now and we've done it. And I've not got any more time to go to Martrim again. But when you put it all in. That bit that I've fucked up on there, look, see that? This bit here that I've messed up on, this is the passenger door, right? So when I attach everything, I can pack that out down there. So it just sits a little bit proud, and then you will never see that. You will never see my mess up, which is amazing. But that is, I mean, it's super. Can you see look how far my fingers go in there? Because we've already got a foam backing on the door card as well, and it is just, oh, very, very luxurious, this thing really is. And that, yeah, bit of a hoover and stuff, that's going to look the absolute business. So let's have a look at it on the car. This is so exciting now to start to see things that just, you know, the possibilities of how things could look. And don't forget as well, there is chrome trims to go across the top of this, and there is a few other bits and bobs to go on it. Oh, that's going to look so cool. What do you reckon to that?
It's wicked, isn't it?
That is so nice.
Do you agree on the brown?
Yeah, if that was brown to match the carpets, that would have been quite nice. But we have to go around and we have to brush it all the time to make sure it's the same way. Yeah, detailer stripes in it. We'll do that when we've finished. But I've got a million other things to trim. I'm not going to film it because I just need the full concentration. And you've seen me do enough of this stuff now. So I'm going to stay late tonight and I'm going to get it all trimmed, including that dashboard.
I am having the worst experience of my entire life in the back of this car. I'm trying to get rid of all this carpet on the parcel shelf, if you like. And I don't know what glue they were using back then, but I think I want a pot of it. It is incredibly tough to remove. Do that again. It's horrific. And I keep touching this glue here, which is also the stickiest substance in the world, and it will stick you to the centre console. And I'm also sitting on 3 cable ties because I managed to rip my shorts wide open, so I had to regain my dignity somehow. But yeah, luckily it's almost 5 o'clock, so I can go home and stare at a wall. It is going.
It was then time for me to get stuck into the headlining, which involved threading it over the rollover bar and then sticking it directly to the roof. The joyous thing about doing this as well is that when it came to spraying the glue, because you have to sit in the back of the car to spray the glue, headlining is covering the gap between you and the outside of the car, and it fills very quickly with the noxious substance that is the glue, and you start to hallucinate, which I did. It was great. I had a good time. I might sell that experience. Come and sit in the back of my Lotus and spray a headlining and smell colours. Anyway, the rest of it is stuff that I trimmed on the bench and then I had to sort of put up into the car. It does hold itself in quite nicely. There's a few clips and that on there, but it could do with more clips. Problem is though, there's not really on a metal car. The frame of the roof, you've got quite big bits that sort of stick out that you could drill a hole in and put a clip in and all that kind of thing, but on this you can't. It's just the bare skin of the roof, so you can't drill into anything. It's a little bit frustrating. You can only really do it on the front bar. It is another late one, but the things are starting to go on the car now, so I'm happier doing a late one because it's more fun. Like, as you can see here, the headlining is really starting to take shape and it looks gorgeous. The only problem is we've got no rear view mirror and we've got no sun visors. Fairly certain You need both of those things. So let's have a look at this. This is the old rear view mirror. Hello, hi. But I don't know if you can tell, it's all crappy and wrecked and just horrible. And I did a bit of digging online, and this is, I think, a Land Rover unit. Hello. So I bought a new one. There you go. This is a new version of that. And it is exactly the same. I've just got to prise that ball out of there and pop it into that one. As easy as that. Mirror newydd, which is new mirror in Welsh. Do it more on the side here. Just pop it. Have we got... What was that? Have we got more... Oh, that goes on there, look. Any spray grease or something? Come on, in you go. Hey! Oh. Oh, that didn't... Okay, that's fine. Oh, where's some grease? Okay, Plus Gas fixes everything. Let's try it again. I thought that went straight in. Oh, why won't you just... Is this ball manufactured slightly differently? Oh, come on. Please work, because it'd be so good if it works. Oh, Jesus, it really doesn't want to go in there. Quite tight, isn't it? Square peg, round hole. Come on, in you go. Stop messing. I'm going to break this mirror, aren't I? Oh, the table. Come on, why? Just want to like tap that, but surely that's not going to end well for the mirror underneath it, but it doesn't seem to be any give. Going to practice on the old mirror with a slightly more heavy-handed approach. You ready? Yikes. Right, okay, I see. So that's why we practice on the old mirror. Oh no, is that bad luck and stuff? Oh, bollocks. Would heat work, maybe? Everything on this build is fighting me. Everything. I just want to put this bloody mirror in the car. I don't know how this is going to go at all. Oh, look at the pretty colours. But if this ball is hot, it might just melt the first little tiny bit. Maybe. I don't know. Allow it to penetrate. Is this how they do it? Ow. More heat. It's like fizzing and boiling and everything, but it just will not go in. Come on, you miserable thing. Oh, are we in? I think we're in. I'm hoping over time that's going to sort of get a bit stiffer, but I think it's just it's covered in grease. I don't know, and it's hot. Is that the right way around? Oh my God, I hope it's the right way around. Oh, I can just spin it anyway. Okay. Put this bloody thing in the car. That was a palaver, wasn't it? Well, I bought these, right, off of eBay. And they were, I think, 14 quid delivered. And they are a set of Suzuki SJ410 sun visors with 2 screw holes. And it is as simple as that. And I've got a Suzuki SJ410 outside, so I took the one off that and just held it in the car just to see if it would sort of be the right size. And it was. So I ordered those. I mean, that is just cheap and cheerful sun visor-ness, isn't it? So the idea is to just, I mean, a couple of self-tappers there or thereabouts, make it in the middle. You've got your sun visor, haven't you? I mean, it doesn't really, can't get much more simpler than that, can it? For the rest of that night, I just got stuck into getting the rest of the headlining bits trimmed. Even these C-pillars, one of them was in 3 pieces, so I had to like cable tie it together and then trim it and stuff, but it turned out really, really nicely. And the next morning we were faced with a very small little issue, but on the doors, these like bits of scraper seals that you can see here, One was chrome and one was black, and both of them were in terrible condition. So I took them over to the bench grinder, cleaned all the surface off, and then I got a little bit of 3M vinyl wrap and vinyl wrapped them in black, and they've just come out absolutely superb and have really brightened the car up. I've been using a lot of this sort of vinyl wrap on this build, as you'll see coming up, and it makes all the difference, and it looks a nice satin black. Much better than painting it, because with painting an old thing like this you will see a lot of the pitting and stuff, whereas with the vinyl wrap it does cover a little bit, but as you see coming up with the dashboard, it doesn't cover as much as I would like. We then pulled the car outside and gave it its first scrub in, believe it or not, probably well over a year, and it was looking pretty sorry for itself. So we gave it a good scrub because I want to try and get a little bit of polish on the car in this video, just to brighten it up a bit, you know, before I really get stuck into what I want to do with the paintwork and the exterior on this car, which will probably be in another episode. And then Matty got stuck straight into building the door cards back up, because everything was trimmed, we had everything we needed, so let's get them put back on the car. If, again, I had to do all this again, maybe I would have done the insert in like a brown to match the carpet, but I think they look awesome as they are. I've got you on this special camera that I hope you've been enjoying, because I need both my hands. But I'm just tackling this piecemeal, so I'm just doing one component at a time, removing until it's all off, but I'll keep that. Good for spares, that, isn't it? And then I'm like looking at all this stuff here, and I think that's, well, I'm pretty sure that's definitely speaker cable, this one here. And I think one of the best things that you can do is to just, before you start trying to work out what's what, is get rid of the stuff that you definitely know isn't anything important, like that, and it just reduces the amount of mess in front of you. Really helpful way of doing things. And like this as well, I don't know what that's doing there. I'm going to try and remove this and just see. Like, I don't get any power out of that, but again, I don't know what it is, and I am just worried that, I don't know, it might be something that I need or something, I don't know. But that is all corroded and crap in there, isn't it? Ah. There you go. Get rid of all that. Again, it's just stuff in the way, isn't it? But that's what it does to these cables. I'll just put a bit of tape around that. So yeah, I don't know what this connection is. I'm hoping I've got a wiring diagram for this car somewhere as well, so I can just check what some of these wires do afterwards just by the colour of them, hopefully. But that looks like an earth as well, so I've got a nice earth over here. I don't know, that looks, there's loads of stuff over here, isn't there? What do you reckon all that's for? These are super handy clips as well, keep in your spares department. Look at this horrible redundant old blower, pretty sea solid as well, old blower motor, which again, just loads of weights, don't need it, loads of just, it's all got to go, hasn't it? And you just sort of follow that back and go, right, okay, it's yellow, well there's big chunky yellow ones there, so I would bet my life that this big chunky yellow one is the main power feed for the blower motor, so that's what I might use for the rally heater. But it's just so many bloody wires there, oh my god. This is how you change the wiper motor on your Lotus Eclat. First of all, you've got to remove the entire dash, and then you open it up and you see all this horrible stuff, look, and you go, whoa, what is all that? And then I think you take that off, and or can you just, I don't know. And that's how that comes out. So that's the old one, and this is the new one here, which is hopefully in much better condition. But you've got to get that housing onto that thing there, and because this is the good one, I'll make the effort and just take that pin off there, take that out of there, and then pop that into that there, and then pop it back into there with that, all that stuff in the right place. It's all disgusting, but yeah, fine, okay. And then that goes in there. That goes in there, what is it? And then you can put your clip back on. Cover your hands in crap. And then you could grease this up while you're there as well, but I'm going to choose not to. And then put all your screws back in. Is this going to work? Ignition on. Oh my gosh, it is.
Is it?
It's working. So, what a dream. What a reason to be cheerful. Could you lift the wiper up, Matty? Just so we don't do any harm. Oh wow, look at that. So pleased. Ah, it's too fast. So now, if I press that, is the wiper going to do any? Oh, yes! Oh, this car is ready for its MOT. We all know I'm not going to be MOT in this car, don't be ridiculous. Right, I'm going to bolt all that back in, and that's one job nicely ticked off there. Another job with a dash. Am I avoiding this HVAC system? I think I am. I'm starting to pull this thing apart so I can make a new template and get all the stuff in place that I need and work out what's going and what's staying. Now this is a hazard switch, but it's just blank. It doesn't say hazards on. How do you know it's the hazard switch? A lot of them have these round pegs on the back, yeah? All these round bits on the back, and they just fit a plug nice and easy. And here's one I bought earlier. This is from Car Builder Solutions, and all the plug is exactly the same, but the actual switch itself is much smaller. But that doesn't matter, because we are going to be changing all of this to accommodate all these different switches, apart from these two, which we're going to leave the same. It's day something or other, I don't know. It's all rolling into one, and I'm doing wiring. Look at the floor here. All of that stuff there has just been added to this car, like, over the years. It's crazy. When you're going through stuff, you're just like, that's not standing, that's not standing, that's not standing. And I've been doing that for a while, and now the fuel pump doesn't work. So I'm going to have to fix that. But anyway, this has been my home here for the last sort of 3 hours, really, as I get everything wired in terms of this dashboard that I made, which is pretty good, actually. Quite pleased with it. I've had to sort of dangle the old Speedo there because I need some like earths off it, and there's some points off it. I don't really want to disturb things, so I'm just going to hide that in the back somewhere. But it's all coming along nicely, and if I put this here and twist the key, we have speed and battery and volt gauge, and I'm assuming all the other stuff works, but I don't know because I can't start the car because I've lost the fuel pump. And we've also got the main beam telltale, which is epic. It's all pretty much done on this side now, and I've found a nice switched ignition live, which I'm potentially going to take for the X-Trons. I ran out of glue yesterday when I was doing all this amazing stuff, which still just looks, I'm just so pleased with it. But I've now got to sort this HVAC system out. And if I get all of that done today, tomorrow, when the glue arrives, I can do that bit of the dash, I can do the carpets, and we're going to really start to come together. These are the solution I've found for the windscreen vents, which I got off Car Builder. They didn't have any of the right size, but they had two the wrong size. So two wrongs sometimes do make a right. But I've got to build something for all that to sit in. And it goes into this sort of plenum. Is it a plenum? That there, and that's what I've got to attach the rally heater to in order for the hot air to come out of there. But all this, it's got to go. Put a bit more of the vinyl wrap over these bits here, which were just a little bit rusty and stuff, and that looks superb now. But it all looks really, really good. I'm very pleased with it. Matty's got the other side to put back together now while I'm working over here, so then the doors should be all nicely done, which is very, very exciting. Tried to clean these seat belts up as well, but they are a bit stinking, aren't they? They are a bit grim. So I think you can buy classic car seatbelt sets, but I'm so much money into this car, honestly. Maybe just a little bit of spray paint or something on that. I don't know. All the seatbelts work fine and everything, so it'd be a shame to do it just for that. But Matty's been cleaning all the rest of the seatbelt stuff up, so it can all go back in. Health and safety, look, I am wearing these, I promise, when I'm doing cutting. Hope you're enjoying this viewpoint as well. I can do stuff. But I use both hands. Revolutionary! It's another new day, and I was just spending ages on this last night, just trying to get it to look nice, and I'm just not happy with it, and I'll show you why. So it all comes from this having to be two pieces, because we got the composite in two squares instead of one big piece like we did with the dash, which is super annoying of car builder to do that. So car builder, if you're watching, stop doing that, stop cutting them in half, supply them as one long sheet. Anyway, that there is like this chrome trim that I've just sort of put around the edges, but you can see it's just raised, it just looks crap. And you can see this line here, it's just, I can't do anything with it. I can't put that one on top, I can't put that one on top, put another chrome strip on there, it looks even worse. It's just not great. I don't like it at all. We don't really need a chrome strip around it either. I was just doing that to tidy up these edges, and I don't know, I can do better than that. And even though this is really dragging on now, this one job, you know, I've been on it for hours, I think I need to rethink everything that I'm going to do with it. And what that's going to involve is cutting out one sheet of aluminium, which is, it's too bright to put in the center console. I can't put the aluminium as the center console, it will be too glary. And then we're going to vinyl wrap it in a satin black. Once it's been wrapped, I think that's going to look the absolute business. A lot better, potentially a bit more solid as well, and it's sort of held a bit more nice because it's one piece. It's just held a bit more solid in there, which I think is going to be quite important. I've only got on the back of this thing 2 screw holes. That's all I've got for my 2 fixings, but it should be enough. It should be fine. It's only got to hold the weight of that massive Extron's in there, hasn't it? This was one of those jobs that just took forever. And like, how do you cut square holes out of things? I think I need a sharper disc for my little side cutter thing, because the one I've got it's too thick and it just wasn't cutting things nicely. So I had to try loads of different ways of cutting sideways, and I used a little hacksaw blade and stuff, and just loads of different options. But in the end, I got it all done. But it was a little bit dimply in places where I'd sort of had to hammer things and bend things. Me and Matty are just discussing like the problem of these dimples, because if I just do a vinyl wrap straight onto those, we think it's going to stick out a mile. We think you're just going to see it, you know, it's going to be there, isn't it? But is it legal to put a bit of foam over it and vinyl wrap over foam? Is that a thing? Because then it just gets rid of all the dimples and it'll be like a little bit of a plusher thing. I don't know really. I just want to see if we get a bit of this wrap. Spoiler alert, we actually got this wrap for the Cortina, which is down being painted at the moment, and bloody hell it looks good. And it's going to look amazing. But that video thing, you know, baking a good cake takes a little while. The only way we can really try this as well is if I glue that onto there. Can't really just layer it over, because we're just not going to know, are we? Should we just try and wrap this in that before we mess about with any foam?
You can always take it back off.
Right, let's do that. Let's give it a go. I think you are going to see. I mean, we could do a better job of getting all the swarf off. That's not too much of a problem. It's just very dimply around there. That'll just look shite on the dashboard. Didn't think of that. It was one thing I didn't account for, but that's not going to work. So, I mean, we could try it with putting a bit of foam on it and then putting wrap over the foam. Is that even a thing? I don't know if it is, you know, but a bit of trial and error. We'll do it so you don't have to. We've officially lost our minds here at Tasty Classics, but I love experimentation. And I'm just thinking now, this is a bit of dodo mats. Oh, that's not the worst, is it? What do you reckon? Seem worse, like. Just that in the car. What's your thoughts, Matty?
Not my cup of tea. But again, it's not my car.
If it was all nice and smooth like that, but it's the bits in between, isn't it, that just gives the game away. Because what we're trying to avoid is I could easily just wrap it in this, but I'm trying to avoid too much of this in the car, because as I said with the door cards, I should have got a bit brown for the door cards and stuff. I can always redo it, it's just a panel as well, isn't it? I could always redo it at some stage, but the very easy option now is to just trim it in this bit of, this is the same as the roof lining, so there's a contrast, and I think that might help. I mean, do we just leave it grey? This is the headlining off that MGZC. Problem, you know, you could just leave it grey, couldn't you? But nothing else in the car is grey. It's annoying as well, isn't it? Because you're fanning about with stuff like this, and this is like the last day, pretty much. We've got one more day after today to get this car completely rebuilt. But I suppose this is quite an important bit. First of all, I'm not mad at the grey. I think the grey is quite cool. Is it one of those things? Does it look like they just had a bit of scrap lying around and they thought they'd use it? But you know, you got to think, when it's got all the switch gear and stuff in it, might be interesting.
I really don't think that looks too bad.
Right then, absolutely none of you asked us for it, but we did it anyway. This is vinyl wrap over 3mm foam, 4mm foam, and it's out the frying pan into the fire, innit? It's not great at all. It's just horrendous. I think if you put that in the car, people are going to go, what the fuck, why has he got a bin bag around all his switches and that? But you've got to try these things, you know? Might phone Retro Power, see what they would do. What we need to do is we just need to go and get some brown cloth or something, redo those door inserts. But brown cloth is 3 hours away and I don't have the time. Simple as, don't have the time. You could go though, couldn't you?
Potentially, yeah. We've got dye in Hobbycraft. If you want to dye that grey stuff.
I don't know. I mean, we've got a lot of other stuff to do with the car. We've got to get all the carpets in, we've got to build seat frames, we've got all sorts of stuff to do. I think we'll just sleep on this for a moment. If I'm honest, it's going to probably end up just being that. I think that's probably the safest option.
It's just not having it, is it?
It's easy, that. Why, what was so hard about that?
So, heater box is out, finally, thank God. And this rally heater is ready to go in now. That was a massive pain to do, but luckily Ben is here and he was able to pull it out because I'm not prepared to do that to someone else's car. But yeah, one step further now. So close to coming back together. And I really can't wait to see it done.
This is it now. You can see where all the crap has gone and we're starting to see nice shiny new things coming in. There is a pipe and we none of us are sure where it goes. I don't know where it goes. I'm hoping it's just like a little vent or something. I'm hoping it's not actually attached to the engine, because as soon as we start up it'll just pour water out of there. So, and without attaching those ones to the new rally heater, we're not really going to know. So anyway, one of the things that is so important, if you've been watching this channel for a while, is tunes, okay? Every car needs tunes. We're going to have a nice screen there, which is going to be amazing. But these are the front old speakers, and they're just crappy, very, very crappy in every way. And yeah, it's just rough. You know, very rusty, they're all dead and they've got to go. But these panels are quite nice and the brown is also quite nice. So I went to Halfords and I picked up some new speakers and I've just changed one of them over now. So this is the new one. It's possibly the gariest speaker grill in the world, but if you're buying your speakers based on how they look, then you're an idiot. You buy your speakers based on how they sound, and these sound amazing. And they are obviously quite different in size. So they should be punchy. And I've also got some other ones for the back, which is pretty cool. But we're still working out what we're going to do with the back because they sit in these pockets here. So we're going to get a few other bits done, and as we do stuff, we'll work out what we're going to do in those rear quarters. But I'm just going to fit this other speaker now. The problem we've got, right, with this car is every single thing is rusted solid. Oh, hey, that's one that undone out of the 4 that undid. I'm starting to lose my mind. This is what we're dealing with. There is just nothing left. So you're just taking your time and you've got to drill every screw head off, everything. And if you imagine how many screws are holding this interior together, that is a lot of drilling, a lot of drill bits. God, that's absolutely rank, isn't it? Look at the state of it. Looks like it probably still work though, doesn't it? I do like an old speaker grill though. I really do, so I'm going to keep those. I've just been pulling these rear quarters apart because these are really nicely moulded things, as you can see here, and it'd be a shame to just not use them and just have the big gaps. And that would make a lovely little speaker box. So I am going to make the effort just to have a go with them, but it's very, very messy. But one of the things that I was doing was getting these old speakers out, and I just want to show you something because they're super cool. These old Pioneer things are rough as hell, just absolutely rough, and I'm going to change them with these Vibe OptiSound 6X 270 watts peak 90 watts RMS speakers, which should be a lot more gooder. But I just want to show you something on this. They don't make things like they used to. This has got a little tweeter angle dial on it. Can you see that? And this, if I turn that, it changes the angle of the tweeter. Completely unnecessary for a speaker in the back of a Lotus Eclat, but very cool nonetheless. Matty and Joe are busy dry fitting this carpet and just seeing what it looks like. How are you enjoying this, Joe?
I'm liking it, yeah. It's like a jigsaw. Just need the glue. Definitely need the glue.
Yeah, we are desperate for some glue at the moment. Before all this goes down though, we need to fit all this stuff, which is Dodo mats, which is a cheap version of Dynamat, but it's very, very good. And I like it, and it's self-adhesive on the back and you just slam it down. Here's a side that I did earlier. Have a look at this. Shiny things are shiny, aren't they? That's for sure. You can see the vision starting to come to life now, can't you? All we got to do is get the carpet stuck to this, trim a few other bits. It's gonna start to fly together. It's gonna look great. Can't wait. But we need to Dodo mat the other side now, and then these guys are still working out where all this carpet goes, and we're still waiting for that glue. And it's now 2 o'clock, and we've got 1 day left after this. It's going to be another late night. It's time for me to get my head around this very simple and very easy box. I've got one of these in the pickup truck. I've had it for about 3 years, and it's possibly the best thing I ever bought for that thing. This plenum, let's call it a plenum. Air travels up through the bodywork of the car and out through these vents, which is fine. That's good, because what I'm planning to do, this thing is going to billow air out of this, right? Sucks it in through there, blows it out of there. So the idea is that we have it mounted under here, other way around. Pretty much like that, and it is going to blow air directly. I might even put a bit of tubing on it up into this, and it's just going to come out the sides there. Couldn't be any simpler. On the back you've got 2 pipes, these things here, and see down here you also have 2 pipes, and you connect 2 pipes to 2 pipes, and that allows water to circulate, and that water has been round your engine and it's nice and hot. It's as easy as that. And then is a plug you need to find yourself. I think it's a couple of power wires and they give you this and a set of instructions. It's very straightforward. You just put all that together with some earths and things in the car. It's not rocket science. And then that connects to the switch, and the switch is in the dashboard. So you won't even see this, you won't see anything. You'll just see a switch in the dashboard. Windscreen will clear faster than it probably ever has in this Lotus Eclat, and it'll keep you toasty warm in the winter. But we do have a slight problem. This pipe, I don't know where it goes and I don't know what it does. I'm hoping it's just a drain or a vent or something, you know, for the AC. If it gets water condenses, it just drains down there. But I can't, I've had my head underneath the car. I can't see. It's right next to the gearbox. I just can't work out sort of where it all goes. I just don't know. So I'm going to show you a little life hack. It might go to air, nothing will happen, but if that's like a return for the engine bay or something, it's just I don't know. The last thing I want is water pissing out onto my nice new interior, isn't it? So I've got my trusty Tupperware of bolts, and I am just finding ones that nearly fits. I'm going to put a Jubilee clamp around it and clamp the bolt into the pipe. And it's as simple as that, and then that is just a blank, blocks it off, job done. Move on with your life, do something else, which is what we're all keen to be doing, I think. That one there looks quite good. It's a bit loose. Quick update, we've tried several different ways of getting this heater matrix box, this rally heater, into there. I call it rally heater because a lot of like race cars and rally cars, they use these things. So that's what I know it as. But yeah, we've settled on a way, and now I'm just putting some connections on, put some extensions on there, and I've solved the little problem of that hose that we didn't know what it does very elegantly. It was at this point that everybody went home, apart from little old me, because I got stuck into doing this bit of trim underneath the windscreen, and I was well pleased with it when it came out. I just pushed the carpet down past the windscreen, glued it over the thing, and just sort of stretched it and tidied it up, cut a couple of slits where the vents are, and I've put those plastic vents in. It's going to look pretty good. And I then turned my attention to carpeting the entire car, which was possibly one of the most satisfying jobs I've ever done. It looks so good afterwards. So yeah, I just got stuck straight into that, got it all done. It's the last day, realistically, that we can mess about with this car, and I was just flat out on it all last night and then again today. It's now, what, midday? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock? What are we on? 2:01. And the dashboard is in. It's just resting in place, not bolted down anywhere. Couple of little trim bits have started to go in, and it's just looking the absolute business. I'm really excited. That bit at the top there was such a pain. Just the bit with the vents in was just an awful job, but I've done my best with it and I think it looks great. I'm really, really pleased with it. Now these things here, these are my tunes, and when I put the carpets in, I don't know if you noticed, but what I did was I ran the speaker cable under the carpets in preparation, because I'm clever like that. So now these things go in, and when we connect everything up, I'll have massive rear speakers, and it should be pretty good. These rear door cards, initially I wasn't going to put them back in, but they are quite a nicely moulded piece, and it does take away a lot of the sort of noise and stuff from the back and of the wheels, from the wheel arch and things, so I thought we would put them back in. Problem is, I didn't have enough cloth. So I've had to sort of Frankenstein them a little bit out of the cloth that we did have left. So there's a few, you know, joins and things in places. But this is the back of this car. Nobody's ever going to go in here. And hopefully you won't notice it. You'll just look in and go, sound. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm concentrating more on the front where everybody will see. This is the last piece of the puzzle, which we're going to bolt right there, like a NOS bottle. So you can just reach back and grab that. Probably makes more sense to put it that way actually, so you can pull it out. So that is ready to go. Danger to manifold. Those eagle-eyed amongst you as well may have noticed yesterday, after I fitted all this lovely carpet, which looks great, there's this horrible gap along here, which is totally sad. But you didn't see these, did you? These were with the car originally. They were in the boot, and they're just exactly what the doctor ordered. They hide everything, and they sort of go something like, something like that. And what a lovely little finishing touch that is. It's really nice. Black, this brown, that brown. It just looks awesome. I'm really, really pleased with that. I think it looks great. My job for the rest of the day now is to just get stuck into all of the wiring and getting this bit of the dash plumbed in, all the switch gear, get everything on. But there is one big component to this car that is still, we need to do something about, and that is where Master Motorsport Engineer Matty has come in.
So, Ben has bought some bad boy seats for this car, but they have one rather large problem, in that they don't fit into the car. So this is a layout of the bolt holes of the seat. The bolt holes are way too inboard to bolt into the original ones. So I've had to try and make some new seat bases for the car so we can bolt these seats straight in and get Ben driving around. So first of all, started off with this prototype made out of cardboard. So essentially they just scooch over like that. And we're going to bolt them in there and then bolt the seats into their holes. So it looks pretty simple, but it isn't. Made a second prototype, just fixing little issues that I've noted on here. And then these are the finished products. Well, they haven't had the holes drilled out yet, but they will sit there and there. And that means that we can plonk the lovely seats onto there, and Ben will be nice and safe, and they will actually fit. I started off on this aluminium piece, cutting it with an angle grinder, which it didn't really like, to be honest. But this one has come out quite jagged, so I may redo that one if we have enough material left. But when we got this steel through, it was a lot nicer to cut. Ben introduced me to a piece of equipment called a nibbler, as you probably see in this bit of video, and it literally just shot round and it cut it out within a minute, not even that. So that was a massive revelation. But once I'd cut that out and just put them in the, I call it the bendy wendy machine, and bent them into shape, I did do one completely the wrong way round, so that was about half an hour wasted, but we'll gloss over that. But now it's time to just make another two, whack them in the car, and then we should be good to put the seats in.
What's up, baby? Sonny, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm now going through and just meticulously getting everything back in the best way that I know how, which is all pretty good. A lot of the stuff is 10mm bolt or a posi headed screw, and because the car's fiberglass, if the old screw had snapped, make a new screw hole. Seems to have worked well so far. Even though fiberglass is not as strong, but if you're just holding a bit of trim like that on, it's pretty good. But a lot of it is the least comfortable thing you've ever seen in your life. Okay. You do have to essentially be some sort of circus animal, a contortionist to do this. And you've got to do a lot of it by feel only. Oh, but when it goes on, that's nice. That is nice. That feels good. Okay, next, last one. If you don't have long arms as well, you're screwed doing this. Ah, so good. Get this machine. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh. My blood rushed into my head. The thing is, right, we're getting on for, is it 3:30? About 3 o'clock. Joe's not even made one cup of tea yet today. But I've still got a mountain to climb. I really hope we can get this done. I've got until the end of the day today to get the seats finished, get all this wiring done, and get the dashboard finished. We can do it. Getting that Extron's in place as well. This is what we went for in the end with the dashboard. We just got the nice Alcantara style 3-way stretch on it, 4-way stretch, 5-way stretch, if you include me inside the footwell. But that's all looking good. Slight disparity of spaces between those there, but I'm no perfectionist. It's fine, it's fine. Gonna put the screen in here, but it's mounting it to the back of this. There is no bracket, there is nothing. I've got to make something that will hold that Extron's in place and then worry about wiring it up. Plenty to do. The day is ticking on. I hope we can get this finished for you. Time is just flying away from us. I'm just going through all of the connections on the back of here, all of the wiring, got all my speaker wire routed. I'm just trying to make sense of all of this. And the bloody hazard switch has just broken. It's not exactly the cheapest one I could buy. That was like 10 quid, £9.60 or something, but it just doesn't work. Get a replacement for that. Fortunately though, the indicators, there you go, left, right. So the indicators do work, which is the major bit that you need. But yeah, hazard switch has died. Time is really, really against us. I wanted to give the car polish and everything. Got my sun visors to fit. Oh yeah. Superb. Time's ticking on. Things are becoming difficult. Very at the closing stages, but I've got the heater isn't working. It's just not working at all. And then I tried to switch the car on to run it to charge the battery a bit, and the car's not charging, and I don't know why, and I'm just trying to troubleshoot now whether or not it is the bulb that's in these little tiny things might not be enough wattage or ampage or whatever it is for the alternator to the exciter light to work on the alternator. So again, we're what time are we on now? 6ish.
6, yeah.
So we've not got like any time left to get this done. I want to get this editing done tonight and then get it uploaded to you. Joe's just sat in the office now, just tidying all the editing up, and then I'm going to go through it later. It's going to be a late one. Got to get this thing done. It's genuinely now, I'm not just sort of laying this on a bit thick, but it is impossible for me to show you in a 2-hour YouTube video just how much work has gone into that interior, let alone the whole car, over this series of stuff on this Lotus Eclat. But that interior has just been a huge job. We're all a little bit sick of working on this car now. It's like we've slept and breathed this thing for a good couple of weeks. It's 9 o'clock again now at night. I've been here till 9 o'clock at night most nights in the last couple of weeks, just getting this done. It's just very labor intensive. It's little things that you just, oh, do that again. This is wrong. This is right. It's, oh, you've got to think. Everything's new on this car. The seats, it's just like Matty doing the seat bases. Huge amount of hours have gone into that because it's working out exactly where you want the seat and how you want the seat thing to be. It's tough. It's not easy at all. But the results speak for themselves, and I hope you think they do as well. The next thing for this car is going to be addressing this paintwork. And while we've been working on it, we've all been thinking, what colour should I paint this car? And we're all kind of getting towards the idea it's just going to stay the same colour. It is a gorgeous colour, it works really well for the car, and it would save a bit of money doing door shuts and things. They wouldn't have to do that. So I think it's going to stay this colour, with the black bumpers, with everything just how it's supposed to be, but with that modern, reliable resto-modded interior, without that wheezy heater, with the nice new heater, the sick sound system. It's so good. I'm well pleased with it. And I also would like, in the future, to get it on some lowering springs and some wheel spacers, just to bring it out that little bit. I think that would really, really help this car, just to sort of muscle it up a touch, you know. Fair dues to Matty. He is like, done all the shit jobs on this thing. What was it like?
Not very nice. Not the best. Wouldn't choose to do it again, but it went well.
Yeah. I mean, just getting all of the substrates of the interior back to a place where we can put everything on, it's rough going, absolutely rough going. It was so minging inside this car. Do you remember when I first drove it back from that shed after 30 odd years off the road? 2.5, 3 hours. There's a spider on my arm. It's not a spider. Right, M42 North, that's this one. Is it a motorway? Are we going on the motorway? Is there anybody else? Everybody else, are you okay? Are you comfortable? It was disgusting. It was in my ears and my nose and everything for, well, a long time afterwards. And I think it's probably all in yours now as well.
Yeah, I think I've gained the cold just today.
But what do you reckon to it? Are you happy with it? Did you think it was going to come out like that?
No, I was so hesitant when he first mentioned an interior of each, and I thought, oh no, this is going to be awful. But it's really good. It's really, really, really good. I think the video speaks for itself, really. I mean, just look at it.
It's proper smart.
It's spot on.
Let's show you a couple of bits. Yeah, it's well nice in here. It is so good. I think like the biggest thing for me is that nothing is rattling or moving. It's all super solid, and it feels like quite enclosed. It's not echoey or anything, and the sound system's awesome. Check this out.
The thing for me is this black headliner really makes it feel cozy. It's so nice.
Yeah. If you're wondering what this gap is here as well, that's for an interior light that didn't arrive, but that's going to go there. I've got some wires ready to go, so I'll get the interior light all set up in there, which would be nice.
Johnny Bravo me.
Same old place you always used to go when you were younger.
Smart though, isn't it?
Speeding through a 50 song like your dad
It's
before.
just missing a big 12-inch sub in the boot, isn't it?
Well, I'm thinking like where those rear seats were, you could probably get a couple of subs in there, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be quite smart. But the sound system's awesome, and it's got these 6 speakers and the 2 speakers attached to the carburetors, which is probably what I'll be listening to the most. But yeah, it's ace, and everything works beautifully, apart from there's a couple of things that I didn't do correctly. The heater blower, the eagle-eyed amongst you who may have like done one of these before, I've got the pipe that's sucking rather than blowing, so it's sucking air through the air vents by the windscreen, so I need to switch that over. I think it's a pretty easy job, so I don't mind that too much at all. And yeah, it's not charging. I don't know why it's not charging. Something with the wires in the dashboard that I made isn't right. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to fix that another day. Just things for another day. If I could change anything and do this all over again, those inserts in the door cards may be a different colour, but I think they do look pretty good. As time's going on, I'm looking at it more. I think it's probably okay. I would buy more stuff. So the glue, I bought 6 tins and we ended up using 12. And the cloth itself, I needed to order 2 meters more of each type of cloth, just because I was scrimping and scraping around at the end, and I could have done a better job of those rear door cards if I'd have had more cloth. And there was a couple of times where I did something and I thought, you know, I'd like to just rip this off and do it again, but I didn't have enough cloth, and it's quite far away, and it would have taken a lot of time out of the build to go and replace it, and money. I can't stop looking at it. I honestly can't. I think it's gorgeous. Those seats are amazing as well. It all fits so nicely. I can't wait to drive it. And you will see this car again. We will do some more work to it, and we're planning on taking it on a very big road trip, which is going to be awesome. We're going to go for a bit of a spin in this thing and just enjoy the car for what it is. A little bit of a resto mod, Lotus Eclat. And it's the first time I've done any of this. So I think, you know, for a first go, it's not too bad. And maybe I'll be better next time. But I don't know if there's going to be a next time, because that was ball ache. But if there's a car ever that needs it, or even just little bits, as type with the Viking and stuff, redoing bits, who knows? But anyway, thank you very much for watching this come back to life. And yeah, please hit the subscribe button if you liked it. That would be really, really cool, because we all deserve it, I think. But it's very late here now. The workshop is an absolute mess. We're going to come in first thing Monday morning and get it all sorted out. See you again soon. Bye.